therapy, y'all should do it. Okay. All right. I wear a lot of hats in my life, so yes, I am pirate. I know people are like, you're so old, you should dress up. I'm not old, you're old. I am also an educator. I teach middle school. I've been teaching for going into my 19th, 20th school year. I teach middle school. They're wacky, I love it. I also am the personal development director for Alvin Ailey Dance Camp. And so I work with a lot of inner city youth, and I wrote this next poem out of a conversation that I had with them, and after seeing some very disturbing stuff on my street. Because they were adopting this prison culture idea thing as fashion, and I had issues with that. How many saggers in the house? Good, because they would hate this poem. This poem is called The Belt, an Owner's Manual. Now here, it may be important to go back to the beginning, not as far back as Adam and Eve or Lucy chilling in the Great Rift Valley, just back to the good sense your parents gave you, back to the basics. So let's start with you. You are born, and surely one day you will die. But in the meantime, you live. You are given a body, one designed by you, perfect in the eyes of others. We are all our own worst critics, but the skin you're in, well, that's the skin you wear. And then there's underwear, which could be tricky by today's standard, but back in my day, we took it quite literally. Garments worn under other garments, underwear. I know it's shocking. Then came pants. First, just a waistband, sometimes held up with a rope, Jethro Bodine style, but then they went and got all high-tech. Got these newfangled things called belt loops, and they were designed for a belt. You would weave it through the loops provided inside, for being highly decorative. It would hold up your pants. Amazing. But lately I've noticed that pants, while belted, sink lower and lower on some frames. This could be a design flaw. Perhaps the loops are too far apart for the belt to achieve maximum beltage, but they got even lower and lower. Underwear became outerwear, backs bent, feet shuffling, arms anchored at the side, an effort to hold them in place, buckle gleaming brightly, and I am thrown back in time to middle passage, bodies in the bellies of ships, chains looped in place to hold stolen treasure, dangling from legs, backs bent, feet shuffling. There would be no running, no escape when ankles are belted, chained. For auction, blockbuster release into bondage times so long ago, they seem like yesterday. Come on. When I see this young man, back bent, feet shuffling, knees chained, belted, calling it swagger, calling it fashion. And it's simple, really. You hold the belt firmly in your hand. You take the notch part, weave it through the loops provided. When the ends meet, you secure it with a buckle, and your hands are free. Your back straight. Your steps are steady, and you don't fear running, because if the belt is used properly, you know that you can head held high, swagger intact. Now that, my children, is fashion.
Yeah!
Thank y'all. Yeah, the first time I did that poem, it was very funny. Because I was kind of skeptical. I was like, wow, there's like 7 brothers in the corner sagging their asses off, literally. And when I started doing it, when I got to when I made the connection to middle passage, you could see them like trying to stretch down. And they were all right when I got off stage. I'm not judging. Well, kind of. But, you know, hey, do you? If you're going to support it, write that poem. Let's battle. It'll be awesome. I'm also a political poet. You probably can tell that. And I do a lot of rallies and marches. And this poem is kind of born from that. This poem is called Balance. And I like it. I hope you do too. Blindfolded, beautiful, she stands there. Balanced scales akimbo, passing judgment in her name justice, our protector. But from what? From believing what we've been told to believe, from trusting the untrustworthy, because for justice, we speak up. For justice, we speak out, and still our voices go unheard. Maybe her vision isn't all that suffers justice. Yeah, she's blindfolded, but I think she peeks. Sees the millions wasting away in prison systems equipped with revolving doors, recidivism, the status quo held as part of the curriculums taught in school is programmed on the news. And when calibers of 38 are mistaken for 44, she sees that the evidence doesn't match Mumia, doesn't see his family for over 27 years. Her blindfold shifts. She catches Georgia, and her blind sight sees what Troy Davis didn't see. The missing murder weapon, the lack of physical evidence, saw to it his appeals were denied, and seems determined to see his execution, so I know she had to see. When 92-year-old Katherine Johnson was awakened by Atlanta police in full riot gear, saw when this frightened old woman was shot 39 times in her own home, she sees. She saw when Sean Bell was shot 50 times. I imagine she winked when the accused were acquitted. She sees the beat-down citizens staining America's broke back, sacrificing in the name of her unseen justice. She sees, and they see. Our brothers and sisters from a land far away heard her tell one they believe, you know the one, about that American dream, the one shot full of lies, lies they know are true, and still they come. Following the beacon cast by Justice's homegirl as she passes out, harbor trick sweet talks him with lies of liberty in her slight French accent. Give me your paw. You're tired. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door, and the minute they walk through it, she calls them illegal. Give them the right to remain silent, the right to remain voiceless, the right to have no fucking rights. Blindfolded, beautiful, she stands there. Balanced scales akimbo, her constitution faltering, because there is no way you could hear all that injustice and the rubberneck tragedy and not look. Hell yes, that bitch, she peeks. So I know she sees what we see.
That's right.
She just pretends not to.
Yeah!